What's good, Knicks Nation? Salute. Tonight, the New York Knicks went down to Queen City to face the Charlotte Hornets on the second leg of a back-to-back. And if you thought the Knicks were going to be tired after outclassing the Washington Wizards, then you were surely mistaken. New York was clicking on all cylinders from the get-go. You had Brunson putting on an offensive clinic, Randall playing bully ball all night long, and Dante DiVincenzo making a case for himself on why he should be in the starting rotation. Sure, the Hornets would make it interesting in the second and third quarter, but New York would put them away in the fourth and cruise to victory. And it would be the first time in 16 years, where they would have a back-to-back wire-to-wire victory. The Knicks would win 122-108 while extending their winning streak to 3 games, tying their longest winning streak on the season. But let's talk about all this and get into the details. Welcome to KFTV Postgame Live. I'm your host tonight, Alex Harris, a.k.a. the Stratocaster. With me on the other side is Mr. JD Sports Talk, a.k.a. JD Breen. Tonight, we're only taking calls by the Discord. And remember to support our sponsor tonight, BetUS, the official sportsbook of KFTV for the 2023-24 NBA season. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys as well. And make sure to share these links. What's good, JD? How you feeling, man? How you doing today?
I'm feeling great, man. Knicks are hot. They're on a hot streak right now, and they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're beating the teams they need to beat. They're on a winning streak. They're on a run, and things are trending in the right direction for this team in terms of the chemistry, the way they're playing together, and how the team is playing in the absence of a few players. So feel good about the team and where they're headed. And I'm ready to talk Knicks basketball tonight.
Absolutely, man. They're taking care of the easy teams that they're supposed to be taking care of. But JD, I got to start off the show with a hot topic right now because it's been a topic before all of this, before the injury to Quentin Grimes. Dante DiVincenzo, second game starting. He goes nuclear tonight. Absolutely nuclear. Let me pull up the stats for you right now to read off his stat line. He had 25 points, went 9 for 12 of the field, 75% shooting tonight, 7 to 10 from downtown. Got you 3 boards, 3 assists. And this to continue a good night he had prior. Not as explosive. Still had 14 points, went 5 for 9 against the Washington Wizards. Got you 4 rebounds and 1 assist. But Dante making a case, as I said, to be in the starting rotation over Quentin Grimes because this has been a topic, JD, so far early into the season. People are wondering, should Dante be in the starting rotation because Grimes has been timid? He's been up and down with his shot, and Dante just making it look easy out there. You see him cutting left and right. Brunson's finding him. Randall's finding him on the perimeter to knock down threes. He's knocking threes now at a high clip. He seems to have found his rhythm. He goes 4 for 8 last night, 7 to 10 tonight. Insane. And this is the stuff that you want to see Quentin Grimes do. So now the question is, and don't forget, he's playing solid defense, man. How about where he gets the steal off of LaMelo Ball from the behind-the-back pass? So Dante making a name. Do you think Dante DiVincenzo should be in the starting rotation now moving forward?
Man, you couldn't ease into the post game. You want to get right
man,
to it.
No.
Let's start with hot takes. Let's start with the debating. All right. Honestly, man. I don't know. Oh, man, I don't know, Alex. I don't know. There's different ways to look at this, good and bad. The bad on Quentin Grimes, I would say, the way this could reflect negatively on him is, there's been a lot of talk about, is it more Tibbs? Is it the system? Is it the culture? Is in terms of you have RJ and Randall and Brunson to start a lineup. So is that culture? Is that what's allowing him or not allowing him to quote unquote unlock, to be more aggressive, to be more assertive, to get shot attempts? Like everybody's been debating about what truly is the underlying factor to this. Do we need to push him to take more shots? Does Tibbs need to call plays for him? Like what is it? And then you see Dante DiVincenzo start, and it's like he's been here for the past few years. It's like he's been the starting shooting guard for this team for the past few seasons. I don't think that from one day to the next, the offensive system changed. I don't think that the play calling has changed. I just think Dante DiVincenzo has fit right in, and he has just been playing freely and aggressive. So is it more the system? Is it more does Grimes needs to make sort of a mental adjustment and be more assertive? You know what I mean? Like like I don't see Dante DiVincenzo's aggressiveness necessarily affecting Brunson's numbers. You don't see it affecting Randall's numbers. And quite
Right.
frankly, RJ didn't have a great game, first game back. But if he would have been hitting his shots, it wouldn't necessarily affected his numbers. So
Right.
in conclusion, all this means is that you have a guy coming in at the 2 spot who's being aggressive, and it's still not disrupting the other players around him. That is a very, very interesting development to me. The reason I say I don't know is because is this enough to automatically yank Grimes out of the starting lineup? Or do you see this and Grimes is sitting down watching this? Do you just say, you know what? Let's see what Grimes learns from watching this off the bench when he comes back. Maybe and I don't know that he's going to be Dante DiVincenzo aggressive. DiVincenzo tonight shot 10 3-pointers. In his last 2 games, DiVincenzo has shot 18 3-point attempts. In 2 games, 18. Sometimes we go 10 games and Grimes barely gets, it seems like he doesn't even get to 10 threes attempts until 3 or 4 or 5 games, right? Yet Dante has done in the last 2 games. And so I want to see how he responds when he gets back. And I think when that happens and how the team plays, then you start to make a move. Because the interesting with Dante is he's only 26 years old.
Right.
Like maybe he can be a starter for us. This is not a veteran this is not Evan Fournier that you're saying, oh, maybe he can, you can slot him in as starter. There's people that think, there's parts of Dante DiVincenzo's game and talent that hasn't necessarily been maximized. Maybe this is an opportunity for him to do so here in New York.
So look, even TM is already ahead of this. TM already put up the poll. Should Dante DiVincenzo be over Grimes? We got 62% saying yes, 37% right now saying no, and that's 115 votes. We got about 1,000 right now. We got 1,000 people tuning in live. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys, and make sure to share these links. JD, you made a lot of great points about what Dante has done and what we're looking for from Grimes when we talk about aggressiveness, right? And towards that, I would say, you know what, if he can do this, why can't Grimes do that? Which is what we've been asking for, right? Because we even seen this last season where it's like spells of, like, as you mentioned, games where he's not shooting and it's like, all right, Randall's only taking the shot. And we've seen those situations where Tibbs needs to actually like say, hey, let's call his number. But to begin this season, I feel like it's more of Grimes being a little bit more timid than actually asserting himself. But here's the thing where I'll push back and I'll say, I agree with a lot of your points, but I still need to see more before I say, you know what, we put Grimes on the bench. We played 2 of the worst defenses, JD, in the NBA. Number one right now being the worst defense is the Charlotte Hornets. Not too far behind, ranking 26 in defensive rating, is the Washington Wizards. So I wonder if this is just a product of playing 2 terrible teams that just can't play defense. And when you can't play defense, you can see how they feasted. Earlier this week, we saw Grimes have a decent outing against the Charlotte Hornets. Once again, we're talking about a bad defense. So I would still need to say, before you pull Dante DiVincenzo, because it's his to lose at this point, right? He was the starter last season. You come into this season, he's still the starter. I still say it's his to lose. And Dante's making it's still Grimes' to lose, and Dante's making a great case why he should be in the starting rotation, because look, he's also offering playmaking too. It's not like he's leaving that where Grimes does a little bit of that. Dante has a little bit more playmaking chops because he has a better handle on the basketball than Grimes does at this point of his career. But I still need to see more from Dante. If Grimes is going to be out for an extended period of time, I need to see, against better competition, if we can get the same type of production from Dante DiVincenzo. Because even when he has come in off the bench, he has struggled at times, even against, teams like the Boston Celtics. So I still need to see more, and that's the competition I'm looking at. Washington Wizards, Charlotte Hornets, great. I'm glad that we could take care of those opponents. But I still need to see more against top-end talents before I say, you know what? Let's put Dante DiVincenzo in the starting rotation, because let's also keep this in mind, JD. There's going to be bigger opponents out there. You look at the Boston Celtics, you got Jason Tatum and you got Jaylen Brown. 2 legitimate wings. All right. You look at the Milwaukee Bucks. You got Chris Middleton out there, right? With Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay. Like we're talking about teams that have legitimate sized wings, and you're going to need a guy who matches in the height department. And that's not necessarily Dante DiVincenzo. So that's why I'm also not quick to say, you know what? Dante go into the starting rotation, because as much as Dante is good on defense, I need to see it, man. I just need to see it against better opponents where I'm like fully 100% sold that Dante should be placed in the starting rotation.
Well, here's the thing with that is I don't know that this topic is necessarily so much about me needing to see more from Dante. I mean, this is the guy he's with the Warriors and he was with the Bucks. So Villanova, like Dante doesn't have much to prove in my estimation, more so than this is more about we need to see more from Grimes. I think Dante's fine. And, I understand the argument about bad teams, but guess what? Against that same bad Hornets team, Grimes was 2 of 5, only took 5 attempts. Against the Spurs, which was another bad team, Grimes took 5 attempts. Like, the question about him not being assertive is still relevant, even when he's starting and we're playing the same bad teams that Dante has played the last 2 games. And Dante coming off the bench, he's still, he's hoisting up shots. So being in the starting lineup did not actually change his mindset. And that's why a lot of basketball sometimes is really about what plan are you going into the game upstairs? What is your game plan up here? Because Dante DiVincenzo did not change his game plan. He didn't say, "Well, I'm a starter now, so let me take three seats back to Brunson, RJ, and Randall." He said, "No, I'm gonna keep playing my game. I'm gonna keep it simple. If I'm open, I'm shooting. I'm not gonna hesitate. I'm not gonna, pivot and pass to the left, pivot, pass to the right. If I am open, I am shooting the basketball. If I have a lane, I am driving the basketball. I am going to continue to be aggressive." And you see how the team can benefit off that, and how, now in a funny way, because I think Grimes is actually a better shooter than Dante DiVincenzo, but it's funny how when you're aggressive, the defense can actually respect a lower percentage shooter than a higher percentage shooter if that higher percentage shooter is not really making his imprint in the game. If you can understand what I mean. You can have a high efficient 3-point shooter on the court, but if he's not really impacting the game, or he's not really showing himself to the defense to be a threat to what his percentage is, then the defense, guess what? They're not going to respect that spacing, because they know, I don't need to fear a guy that's going to get the ball and pump fake and then pass rather than get the ball to shoot first. And Dante, who's, 36, 37%, 35% 3-point shooter, yet he is more impactful than a Grimes who's a slightly higher percentage of 3-point shooter. So it's interesting how the way you play in the NBA court does dictate how the defense is going to react to you. And Dante is actually making an impact now. Obviously, let's see how that same impact is displayed versus, better competition. But again, I do think this could be a learning lesson for Grimes. And let me ask you this. You think that this display takes some of that criticism off the head coach, where he faced a lot of criticism in terms of he is the number one reason why Grimes hasn't been able to be maximized in this offense? Do you think the way Dante has played takes some heat off Tibbs, or do you think this is just naturally the connection, the whole Villanova thing, where Dante right next to Brunson, Hart coming off the bench? Like, do you think that chemistry is actually unfair to compare when it comes to Grimes and then criticism to Tibbs?
I think it's all those things, JD. I think to start off with your first question, does this relieve Tom Thibodeau of his criticism? Yes, to a degree, because I think we're talking about one Dante DiVincenzo who's been in the league a little bit longer than Grimes, who has made multiple stops, whether it be in Milwaukee, Sacramento, Golden State, and now with the Knicks. He's more of a seasoned veteran, understands what he is asked to do since he's been in the league for so long. So with that, I think he comes in there with a different level, a different mindset, different level of preparedness, and just being more comfortable because he's had to work on these things over the last couple of years. So he knows what he's strong at. He's strong at cutting. He's strong at shooting the three. He's a good playmaker. He's used to all those things. As for Grimes, because this is his second year being a starter, remember, he didn't play that many games his rookie year, right? Now you're talking about he plays a full season his sophomore year, being a starter, being one of the best defenders in the NBA, as we see by all the analytics. This year, you're talking about this is his second year starting. I think for him, it's just he has to learn to be comfortable being aggressive and not like just saying, you know what, I'm going to pass it to Randall, I'm going to pass it to Brunson, I'm going to pass it to RJ because those guys have been here longer, they're more seasoned veterans, and I'm still trying to earn my stripes. He has to go out there and go earn it. So to answer your question, yes, it does relieve Tom Thibodeau of those questions, but because Grimes is also so young, it also requires a head coach to be that much more encouraging on a young player. Be like, yo, don't be that afraid. Go out there and shoot, man. Like there's different levels of coaching for different level of players. And I still think like there are moments in games, especially last season, because last season is different than this year. The ball movement is much better, right? Randall's passing the ball much better. And because of that, you see Brunson playing a little bit more off ball instead of him having to be the dominant lead initiator. So it's different this season. That's where I'm going to put it more so on Grimes, where he has to be more aggressive. This is not like, oh, Randall's going to take 20, Arj is going to take 20 and have the blinders on. Brunson's going to have to then cook and then pull this team out of a hole because that's just the situation we're in. Now that the game's starting out with better passing, Grimes has to be more aggressive. Unlike last year, where it's like if those guys get into an isolation mindset and have the blinders on, the head coach needs to interject and be like, you know what? You guys got to look for our best 3-point shooter on the perimeter so that way he can open up the spacing for you guys. But like I said, this is a different season. So I think to that point, it's a little bit of everything, but this year more so than anything else, it's Grimes. And look, I'll end it on this. Grimes had 11 shots against Atlanta before he went out with an injury, okay? He was being aggressive. He took 11 shots against Milwaukee. And granted, he didn't take many shots against Charlotte. When you watch him in that game, he was still being a connector, and he was taking what the defense was giving him and still operating to that extent. Tonight, you can also make the argument saying the defense allowed Donte DiVincenzo to be wide open. He's going to take the threes and knock it down. And tonight was just a night that he was going to be hot from three. So that's what I'm saying. You know what? You got to wait and see it out. You keep trying. Like if Grimes is going to be injured for an extended period of time, he lost the brace. We'll see if he's out even longer. You get another opportunity to start Donte DiVincenzo. Use that and see what you get out of that. But for right now, I'm not in a rush to say pull Quentin Grimes from the starting rotation after Donte DiVincenzo had two great outings against some of the worst defenses that we've seen in the league. You watch both of these teams, bro, and they have no idea what they're doing out there on the court. They're like, all right, I'm going to jack up some shots. You see Brandon Miller tonight, LaMelo Ball getting his. Last night, it's Jordan Poole who's stinking it up in Washington. So it's like, all right, like what can we make out of that? Show me against Milwaukee. Show me against Boston. Show me against some top-end competition, then I'm going to be a much bigger believer in the whole thing.
You know what's the one detail that I think is a difference, though, even if there's a mentality shift with Grimes, is I don't know, and it could be one aspect on why it looks maybe more natural with DiVincenzo than Grimes, aside from the connection with Brunson. I don't know that Grimes is necessarily all that confident yet in his ball handling ability. If you see DiVincenzo, even on possessions that he doesn't shoot, he looks sometimes out there like another point guard for the team. In his ability to drive, it looks natural when he drives. His even his little shifty crossover, being able to operate even in a pick and roll, like he can do a little bit more with the basketball. And with Grimes, sometimes it's really about, is he just going to shoot the jump shot or pass? It's not really much other than that we have seen. We see glimpses. We see the drive on the sideline, right? We see some flair here and there, but we don't necessarily see a lot of confidence in him being able to create a little bit more or play make with the ball handling ability than Donte. And I think that little nuance right there, that detail sometimes could be the difference in how, how we evaluate aggressiveness. Because he can be aggressive shooting the basketball, but sometimes naturally it looks like Donte is more aggressive even when he's not shooting, because he can just, he could bring the ball up the court. The Knicks don't have any issue with him bringing the ball off the court if he has to. They don't have any issue with him even creating a play or two. off the offense, and that's because of his confidence and his ball handling ability. Grimes doesn't necessarily have that, and if he does, he hasn't really shown it consistently. And I think for him not necessarily being all that confident in that, I think it's what sometimes messes him up mentally on how do I be aggressive? Is me being aggressive just chucking up shots, or do I need to show more drives to the basket? Do I need to play make more? And I think he needs to develop that confidence, because we see it in the workout videos. We see it in the off season. We see him in practice. There was even a play the other day where he tried to throw behind his back and it did not look good. And it was a turnover. And so I think the ball handling aspect of his game is what may be holding him back more so than him just being afraid to shoot the basketball. I think shooting for him is natural. He has to develop that secondary part of his game.
This has been a great discussion, JD. And salute to Knicks Nation for everyone tuning in for KFTV Post Game Live. I'm your host, Alex Gutierrez. With me on the other side is JD Sports Talk, a.k.a. Mr. JD Breen himself. Everyone, I want you to get into on the discussion about should Donte DiVincenzo be in the starting rotation. Look, we got the poll open right now in the chat. We got 437 votes. We got 1,400 checking in right now. So that means I need more of you to hit that thumbs up button for your boys, and I need more of you to come vote and see so we can get a better idea where Knicks Nation stands on the whole Donte DiVincenzo conversation. But make sure to call in. We're taking calls by the Discord, so make sure to tap in and give your takes on whether or not you want to see Donte DiVincenzo get into this starting rotation or not. And yeah, let's just keep it rolling, guys. Let's keep it rolling. I'm gonna start lining up the Discord right now, so that way we can just hop right into some of these callers and get their takes on the matter. But hey, it was a great game, JD. Tonight was a great game. You know what I mean? Because you see the Knicks just beat up on a lowly Hornets team. And then what you have is Jalen Brunson going out there and doing his thing. Looks like he's getting back into a groove, we knew he can get to his spots. We knew some defenses were going to make it much more challenging, but he's getting to his spots. He got 32 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists tonight, went 12 of 21 from the field, knocked down 4 of 8 3-pointers, hit all of his free throws. Jalen Brunson was on fire tonight, making light work of the Hornets defense. This guy seems like he's getting back into rhythm. The whole conversation of maybe FIBA basketball wearing on him, maybe it's time to put that behind us, because as of right now, did a great job against the Wizards, did a great job tonight. What do you think, JD? Has Brunson finally found his rhythm?
I mean, did it really leave? I mean, he was gonna be fine, had a slow start in terms of what his expectations are and what he's created in New York in terms of what level of player he's developed into as a New York Knick. I mean, he has taken the next level in his career than he was as a Dallas Maverick, so he's created those expectations. And then going into his second season as the guy here in New York, and you starting to see it now where he's starting to take this game to another level, because I think he knows personally he wants to make an all-star appearance. Mm-hmm. He wants to be an all-star. Trust me, I've talked to people, Brunson. He wants that this year. He's hoping that, Knicks fans can support him in terms of the NBA votes and things of that nature. But if not, he's going to find a way to get in there. And you starting to see that with how dominant he's been playing. And it started, more than just these last 2 games. Look at his performance against the Hawks. Another performance against Trae Young where, he's marking his calendar whenever he sees an upcoming point guard on the other side, a LaMelo Ball, a Trae Young, like these guys that are more, I guess you could say, popular names and guys that might get the votes and this and that in the fourth. It might get the flair of the fans, especially the casual fan. He's marking those dates on his calendar because he's taking all these matchups personally, and you can see it. And what I love the most is the assist numbers. 8 assists, 7 assists, and 8 assists. Those are his last 3 games. So his assist numbers are starting to creep back up, which means his overall game. And how about, I've always said that, why doesn't he shoot more 3-point attempts? Like I know there's some players that are very, they like to keep their numbers very efficient. So So sometimes they don't want to overdo it. But I'm like, listen, he should just be taking more threes. He's an efficient player. He's shown that he can shoot a high percentage even when his attempts go up. Right? So 10 3-pointers against the Hawks, 10 3-pointers against the Wizards, 8 3-pointers tonight. Like that is the number. Around 8 is where I want to see Jalen Brunson at consistently. Not one night, not 2 nights. I think when he shoots more threes, you start to see how it's more effective because he's going to make more, which means you're going to score points. And you need, especially with a team that there's been questions about us shooting the basketball and our efficiency, and we need more shooters. Well, we have a guy in Brunson that we need more shooting of, and that is the 3-point line. So Jalen Brunson, to me, is starting to take his game to the next level. He's starting to pick it back up. There was a lot of talk about maybe was it FIBA? Was it the off season? Was it this and that in the fourth? Listen, sometimes it's, even the best players need a few weeks to get into a rhythm. You saw with Randall in the injury, and now you're starting to see it with Jalen Brunson, and he's locked in right now. I mean, the guy is playing outstanding basketball.
For sure. And JD, to your point, on the season, he's averaging 6.7 3-pointer attempts, which is it's 2 more attempts than he had last season. And he's still shooting over 40%. He shot 41% last season from 3. He's shooting 47% right now, JD, from downtown. That man is on fire. Okay. He is knocking the 3-point down at such an efficient and high rate. And this is one of the things that everyone asked about, like coming from Dallas. Could he take more shots? Could he hit them at a high efficient level? Yeah, he's still showing that he can do that. I mean, even against Atlanta, when he wasn't knocking down all the shots inside the arc, right? He was still knocking down threes like it was nobody's business. But to your point, his 3-point shooting definitely still there. The thing that I like now, because that there's been more passing on this team, you have guys like DiVincenzo and quickly elevating their games. He could play off ball now, like he did down in Dallas. And that's just even better for him, right? Because last year he had to be that guy who consistently controlled the rock and made sure the team was at a steady pace. Not saying he doesn't do that now, but he has that freedom now to be off ball, whether it be Randall, Quickly, Dante, whoever it may be, even Josh Hart bringing up the rock. He can go set up somewhere else, take a breather, and somebody else can go initiate the offense. And I think that's a great thing for him. One, just to preserve him for the remainder of the season. And two, it helps his game because, look, we see all the greats who play in the NBA. You guys got like Steph, Dame, who have to be capable of playing off ball in order to show how dominant they can be. For Brunson, for him to have that capability to do it on the Knicks, shows you how much better this team is getting at facilitating too. So I like that. But JD, let's table this conversation and get to the lines right now. We got Dave G on the line with us. So Dave G.
What's going on, guys? You hear me? Y'all hear me?
I hear you loud and clear. Does Alex hear you?
Here we go. That was weird. You hear me?
I hear you loud and clear.
Sorry, I muted myself by accident. There we go. Now you should be able to hear me. What's going on, Dave?
All right, cool. What's going on, boys? It's been a while since I was able to call in, but I had to call in tonight because I'm on the way back from the game. I took my brother-in-law to the game. He's a Hornets fan. He did not have a good night. That's the way I like it. I wanted to call in, make this quick, but I want to touch on the Jalen Brunson thing real quick. I just want to call in. I just want to say, I want to give a shout out to my boy, my second favorite player on the team, Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson out here just putting in the work, doing his thing. I think he's the second most important player on the team. I just want to give him a shout out. That dude, that guy's him. Those rebounds, it's the best. On the Jalen Brunson thing, if we as Knicks Nation cannot put our boots and hard hats on and go to work on these NBA votes and get him to the All-Star game, we need to look at ourselves because the man needs to be there. Like he needs to be there. So that's on us to get him there because we got to put together the votes. We can absolutely vote him in over Trae Young and LaMelo Ball and all these other point guards in the East because there really isn't. I can't think of a better point guard in the East right now. I can't. I mean, like. I really can't. I can't think of anybody that's playing better than Jalen Brunson right now. And so hopefully he continues that play, and we better vote him in the All-Star game. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all have a good night. Go Knicks. Let's keep this rolling.
Well, before you go, Dave, before you go, how was the vibes, man? Because I saw everybody just chanting "Let's go Knicks" in the arena once the game was over. But what was it like
Oh,
in the arena?
the place was just it was Knicks Nation is what it was. The Hornets fans, they were bummed. They were bitching about every call and every all this and that.
Family show.
Oh, sorry, my brother, my bad. They were complaining about every call. It was half empty. It was mostly Knicks fans. It was Nick. Charlotte is not about the Hornets this year, man. They know their team is not it. They didn't show up. Knicks Nation did show up, and we took over. We took over the Queen City.
That's what I like to hear. All right, Dave. Appreciate you calling in, man. Just had to get a vibe check on what was going down in Charlotte. Appreciate you calling in, man. Have a good night.
Y'all take it easy, boys.
And that was Dave calling in on the check-in. I love it, man. I love that Knicks Nation just travels so well. You know, I was just in TD Garden earlier this week, even though it didn't end in the fashion that we wanted to see. We still travel, man. We travel very well. We're all over the place. And when I was talking to Dave Johnson before the preview for the Wizards game, that's something he noted, man. I didn't even have to ask. He's like, New York is like one of the biggest cities in the world, but you know, fans aren't only there, they're in DC, they're in Charlotte, they're everywhere. Like, we travel well, man. We are a rowdy bunch, and we got to give. That's why I love Knicks Nation, man. We just travel in style. We support this team through thick and thin. Orange and blue bleeds through our veins, man. Orange and blue bleeds.
You love to see the support, and it just makes it just adds to the wanting to win, because when I see it on TV and I see Knicks fans from in other states, you know, be this passionate, man, I just want to win, man. I want this so bad, bro. Like, you know, because you can only imagine, not only for those Knicks fans that are in New York, but all around the world in the U.S., like how satisfying, how just crazy that's going to be if we get to the promised land one day, because, you know, Knicks fans are everywhere, and you see it around, you know, all the arenas, and, you know, I would say you got the Warriors, you got the Lakers, the Knicks. I mean, those fan bases are probably the biggest fan bases with the Celtics. I mean, who else like that really travels? I know there's big fan bases, but I'm talking about fans that travel. Those are probably the top four. I may be missing another one, but you know, those are fans that you'll see everywhere.
That's absolutely a fact, man. Absolutely a fact. And to Dave's point, we have to be able to vote Brunson in. There ain't no way that we shouldn't be able to do so. Like, he had a rough start to the season, but he's starting to catch fire, man. And we definitely need to, as a fan base, make sure that he gets in, because he got snubbed last year. Should have been all NBA last year too. He's just on one, man. Gotta love what Brunson's doing. But another guy we gotta talk about Julius Randle, man. Talk about a guy that has once again adapted his game to make it different than, like, I feel like every year he's making it different. You know, first year where he's here, he was the engine. First year under Tips, he was the engine. Great scoring year, did a lot of damage, especially a lot of difficult mid-range jumpers. Was a catalyst for why the Knicks were able to make the playoffs that year. You get Brunson last year, he decides to take even more threes, right? Instead of attacking the paint, and settles for more tough, difficult mid-range jumpers. This year, I just wrote an article yesterday just to preview the game. This is the most even shooting I've seen from Randle, and according to Gleaning the Glass, he's essentially shooting a third from around the rim, a third of mid-range jumpers, and a third of threes, man. He has truly changed his game to be more efficient. And the one thing that I like that he's doing this season is passing the rock more. It's not a lot of like just him backing down and blindlessly going into double and triple teams. Sure, you may see it from time to time, but even like a game like tonight, you know, you start seeing him just trying to make sure he's finding guys on the perimeter. He had 7 assists tonight. He probably could have had more, especially if guys like Quickly could have knocked down his shot tonight. But look, Randle's leading the team in assists right now. I'm impressed how he's adapted his game yet again to be different for a different season.
And he's playing well. You know, it's interesting because I said that to start the season that he's not a guy that I'm really worried about in the regular season. He's not a guy that I'm worried about in the playoffs. We'll find out. But even the way he started the season, it was like, whoa, okay, this guy, he's really struggling. What is it? And it's just funny how. Let me ask you this: do you think it was really the ankle? Because it's just so crazy how I remember when the report came out, right? Tibbs said this, and everybody, it was all over Twitter and all over everywhere, all over X, let me say. And literally after that report, the next game, since he's just been balling. So I'm just like, wait, hold on. Like, is this PR relations type thing, and then he just took off, or was it really an ankle thing that he needed to get adjusted to, or was it a guy that was just struggling, maybe conditioning? I know he's in great shape, and it could be funny to say that, but there's difference between you being in great physical shape and you being in game shape.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like. Do you think it was just kind of like Brunson? Like, Brunson had no injury and he was struggling. What was the excuse for him? There was no excuse, right? And look at him now. Do you think it was actually the ankle, or it was just, hey, this guy is just, he just needs to get into rhythm, and once he does that, he'll play well, because now he's in rhythm, man. And it's just funny to me how, if it was the ankle, like, did he just get 100% overnight? Like, it doesn't just make sense to me. Right? Like, am I bugging? Because it's like, from the moment they said it, it's like all of a sudden he got healthy. Like, that's not really how it works. I've got hurt before. You don't just say, well, it's my ankle. I need to get into a rhythm. Like, how do you use the whole summer talking about, you have 4 or 5 months, and you talked about not being able to practice and getting into your offseason, training regimen, and yet in the middle of the season, from one game to the next, you all of a sudden are good. Like, that's strange to me.
I think JD, like, I have no idea, but I think the one thing that really changed it, and I was asking for this at the beginning of the season, is that because what he did last season, and like through an ankle injury, you really have to get into like a rhythm when it comes to jump shooting, right? Like, and your ankle could affect you from that. But I was asking for him to get downhill, because that's the best for him right now, just to make it easy. And I think since he's done that, that was a big thing, that he decided to start attacking and getting downhill and being aggressive. It has really opened up his game and everybody else's game around him. And for him, he's gotten back into rhythm. There's not many people who are going to stop Randall because of how physical he can be when he attacks the lane. So I think that mindset, shifting that mindset to saying, hey, I could probably get better shots if I just go try to get a layup, finish around the rim, rather than, sidestep, mid-range jumper, step back, turn around, all those things. Like, he still takes them from time to time. And the good thing is that he's so strong, he'll draw contact and get to the free throw line. But he's not relying on that as he was last season. And I think that's been the biggest difference for him, rather than being solely a jump shooter, and especially relying heavily on threes. That was the other thing too. Like, he took a lot of threes last year. And even to begin this season, I think he was relying too much on his jump shot instead of just being a guy who can just be a bulldozer and just attack the basket and punish opponents.
I mean, sometimes I think take credit away from themselves, because I think he's just playing better. I think he is just, because I remember even that opening night, I remember telling my friend, like, yo, like, Randall got good looks tonight. He just wasn't playing, like, he just wasn't making good decisions. And sometimes, a player could have a bad game, and they'll say it's because of this or it's because of that. And sometimes it's just, tonight I didn't play well. And, I want to give him the credit he deserves right now, because I just think he's just playing better. And everything else, it looks like he's in better shape, and it looks like everything else looks good. But, like, I don't know that you get into a certain stage this fast. But I do think it is a factor. I just don't think is as much as what the media tried to make it out to be. I think it was a combination of, he needs to get into better game shape. He needs to get into rhythm. Yes, the whole ankle thing did affect his offseason, but he also just needs to play a little bit better. And he's doing that right now. He's looking for his teammates more. You always going to see, the Randall turnover that I'm sure gets fans irate, but that's gonna come because that's just who he is as a player. He is a very aggressive player. He tries to just play aggressive all the time, and that's a plus as long as you're able to make the right decisions at the right time. And for the most part, right now, he's doing that. And every time the Knicks play this well, Alex, and they go on this little run, they've won what? I think they've won, is it 6 of their last 7 games they've won? And now they're playing Minnesota on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Minnesota just beat the Pelicans 121 and 120 tonight. And I don't know if the Pelicans play again, but I know the Knicks don't play until the Pelicans can't play again because you're not going to play 3 games in 3 nights. So the next game that both teams play are against each other in Minnesota. Let's have a post game after that. Let's see what happens because that's going to be, next week. The Knicks have a great week next week. They play the Timberwolves, they play Miami, and they play the Phoenix Suns. Ooh, I can't wait.
Can't wait, man. And I can't wait. And I just got word, JD. I just got word from the guy himself. And TM relayed it to me. We're doing a giveaway tonight. If we get 1,000 likes tonight, we got 453. If we get 1,000 likes, that means you got to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. If we get 1,000 likes, we're doing a giveaway. CP said so himself. So everybody, you know what you got to do. You got to hit that like button, share these videos, get up to 1,000 likes. We got 1,500 in the chat watching right now. So this should be easy. This should be light work for everybody. Don't you want free stuff? Who doesn't want free stuff? Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Get us to 1,000 so that way we can do a giveaway. And while we're also doing some housekeeping, let's also, JD, shout out our sponsor, BetUS, the official sportsbook of KFTV for the 2023-2024 NBA season. It is one of the premier sportsbooks. You can bet on all sports, NBA, NFL, NHL right now. They have an online casino so you can make any type of wager, all types of betting, right? You want to do parlays, you want to do prop bets, you can go there and place any wager you want. And they got reliable customer service, so that way you can go get your money and cash out. So make sure to hit the link in the description or in the chat. Go to BetUS and sign up today and get a bonus match of up to 125% on your first deposit. Make sure you hit the link in the chat or in the video description and get a bonus match of up to 125% today. All right? You can also do some futures right now, man. You can choose the Knicks to win the in-season tournament. You can choose the Knicks to, go to the Eastern Conference, win the division, stuff like that. You can make all those type of bets, man. I know you're into stuff like that, JD. I know for our other sponsor, Underdog, you've been killing it. So I thought for a second you just left me and retired.
They're gonna restrict my account the way I'm making money off that. But hey. Gotta do what you gotta do, man. You just gotta thank them for sponsoring the channel.
Absolutely, that's all you gotta do. All right, let's keep this show rolling. Let's get back to the Discord. We got HP Cuzco on the line. HP, what's going on, man? Unmute your mic. How you doing today?
What's good, y'all? HP Cusco.
HP Cusco. My bad. How you doing, man? How you feeling today?
I'm doing great. Look, 6 or 7, I'm doing great. I'm not going to pull up a chair tonight. I'm going to keep it short and quick. See my man, White Dante? You see my man, White Dante? The big ragu.
The big ragu.
The big. Hey, I'll take the tomatoes in the chat. I'll take them. Put some tomatoes in the chat. I'll take them for White Dante for sure. He shouldn't start, though. I just feel like we need Grimes defense, but he's a spark off the bench. He could fill in anytime, for sure. That's how I feel about it. But
so you want to keep Grimes in the starting rotation, Dante in the second unit. So even after a game like tonight, you're not saying, you know what, put Grimes on the bench, let Dante get the burn because hey, you got that Nova connection with Brunson and him. They made it just look seamless today.
Nah, I think when you got a guy that plays like that kind of attitude, you want that coming off the bench because you want that kind of extra scoring in spurts. You put Grimes in, it's kind of just going to it's going to take shots away from the other guys that are starting in a sense. Like, I know he knows how to play basketball, But I think we need Grimes out there to take those fouls on the star players and defend them and do that kind of stuff. And let Dante come in and just be a spark. And if he's got it going, then like finish the game with him, of course. But yeah, keep starting Grimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep starting Grimes.
Hey, everybody hit the like button. Let's get this giveaway. And yeah, Minnesota, Anthony Edwards is gonna be a great game.
Oh yeah,
White Dante, baby.
That's HP Cusco on the check-in. Shout out to you. He says, you know what? I like how Dante played tonight. I like how the big Ragu showed up. But you know what? We still need Grimes in that starting rotation.
How about
Chad, how are you feeling about that? Because 65%, Jada, we got 790 votes. 64% say yes, start Dante DiVincenzo over Grimes. 36 say no.
Are they overreacting, or is it legitimate? You know what's a positive though? A positive development of this, I would say, in terms of looking long term, Alex, is they've stuck with this Randall and RJ pairing for maybe longer than some of us agreed or thought that they could fit, and they're definitely attempting to make it work, right? And so now when you look at how do we get better, like where is the upgrade? Is it at the center position? Well, how can it be at the center position the way Mitch is playing? Is it at the point guard? How can it be at the point guard? We got a point guard. Now we have RJ potentially taking a leap. And Randall is a guy that the organization is continuing to support. So where are we going? Do we just have to make the bench into the super all-star bench? Like, where are we actually upgrading? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, where? Because and so now at that 2-guard spot, right, or at that wing spot, if you want to move RJ to the 2, I think at least what you're starting to see is you can bring and add another player to this, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to affect everyone else. Because again, when Dante's taking that many shots and you see it's still in rhythm with the rest of the offense, and to Randall's credit, he has been willing to defer. He's already done it last year with Brunson. You see this year when, RJ was hot, he was also deferring a little bit, letting RJ do his thing. So to Randall's credit, and I think to his best interest, he seems to be a willing partner in this and making this work, even if the Knicks want to add another scorer or another player to this equation, and we have to ask him to take a little bit more of a backseat. I think that's a positive development for the front office, because front offices are always evaluating every night. When guys get injured, they're evaluating how guys come in and play. When guys get inserted into the rotation, they're evaluating how that fits in. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be scouting and evaluating this team every single night, and you're supposed to be looking at any way that you can continue to improve this team, because although they're playing well right now, 6 out of 7, they have a great week coming up. I told you, there's expectations this year. They have arrived. This is no longer, I'm not happy with a 6 seed or a play-in anymore. I'm not happy with a first round, getting past the first round anymore. To me, this is minimum. We're in the second round, and we might be getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like we're on that same Miami Heat type of trajectory. Game 6, down to the wire. Let's go. Like, that's where I'm looking at a minimum scale for this team in terms of my personal expectations. Don't talk to me about no play-ins. Don't talk to me about no AC this year. I don't want to hear that. I want to compete in the second round to either pull off an upset or to be right on par with whoever's on the second round. If this is the same roster we go with. And if we even make an addition, well, guess what? Now let's go. If this team makes an addition by the trade deadline, let's go.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. JD needs a second round appearance. Nothing less, nothing short of. But I got you didn't mention JD. You didn't mention the in-season tournament. Do you want an in-season tournament championship win? Does that matter to you?
Yo, if you're a Knicks fan, anything matters to you.
Okay.
wait.
That's what I'm talking about.
Baby steps. Let's take it in season. Yo, first of all, you imagine we win the chip for the in-season tournament? Do you even know how you will react? Like, what are we gonna do? Because I've always said it's gonna take one season for fans to fully appreciate this in-season tournament. Like, I don't even know what's to celebrate. Is there a parade? Are we throwing a parade? Like, what's happening?
I don't think there'll be a parade. I think there'll be a little bit of like, it doesn't matter. But then after time goes on, it's like, oh, look how important this championship was. If we were the first one to win it, it'd be like, hey, remember the first team to win it? It was the New York Knicks, baby. But hey, we got the Discord rocking. We got some callers calling in right now, so we're gonna get back to that. But just want to first shout out a few super chats. We have one from Chuck D himself, the Rhyme Animal. Make sure to throw a hashtag PE into the chat. He said for a $10 super chat, he says salutes to Nick Culture, I-95, 85 down the East Coast, DMV, Charlotte, Atlanta, Orlando, Miami. Salute to Alex and JD. Get them thumbs up. Salute to you, Chuck D, for always tuning in, supporting the channel. We got another $10 super chat from Jay Livingston. He says Randall seems hungrier. He's fitter and has expanded his bag, going to the hoop more, passing from the post, not dribbling out the clock before settling for a fall away jumper. Hey man, those are all facts. Randall's playing differently, man. You love to see it. We got Devon Brown becoming a franchise channel member. Salute to you. We got Young Jeffy 89. Salute to you for becoming a franchise channel member. And we got Gamba. My man is like Chris Kringle out here giving away another KnicksFanTV membership, another franchise channel membership. Look at Gamba, man. Call this man Chris Kringle. Man's giving out gifts every single post game. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to producer Gamba for tonight. All right. Now that we got that out of the way, let's get to some of the calls. We got Rambo on the line. All right, Rambo, unmute your mic, man. How you doing, Rambo? What's going on?
Oh man, I'm doing great, man. Salute to you guys first and foremost, man. I heard the event was live and all that, so that's always a good thing. Yeah, man, tonight was so good, man. This is what I love to see, man. I love to see us going and doing and taking care of business. You know, these are bum teams, and we must treat them as such. Okay, I felt so at ease the whole night, man. It was just really nice. You know, the whole Grimes and Dante talk, I don't want to hear it. There's plenty of talent on this team. The only thing that matters is how is Tibbs going to play everybody, okay? That's the only thing I care about. Regardless of who starts, who doesn't, I need to see interchangeable pieces. We have weapons. We have depth. We have Miles McBride. Comes in for 2 minutes and he'll get a steal and a three-point on you and then go sit on the bench for the rest of the game. Like, he's just like, come on. We just got too much. We have talent right now. We're looking good. We got young talent. We got ultra role players. We got all-stars. We got all these draft picks. Man, we need to just continue to earn our respect because I don't know for what reason we have no respect out here. We just come off as this tough team that just they can upset you and they're a tough team to play and they're gonna be physical. This that no, we more than that. We playing like contenders right now. Let's go. Come on, man. I'm not jumping out the window, but I'll tell you this: I started the season with my window open. Okay, because that's what type of season I was expecting this year. Let's go. You know, we made a statement last year, and everybody's still talking about the Cavs.
Okay.
Come on now.
Rambo's got the window open. He ain't jumping yet, he said, but he's got the window open. Okay, I hear you, Rambo. I hear you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No. I like that, man. Look, we're not ready to jump out the window yet, but I like that energy because, look, this is a good Knicks team. I listened to our guy, Jake Asman, on the show last night. We have a good team. We got to stop talking about, who the Knicks got to trade for, what big star, all this. Let's enjoy the moment. Let's enjoy a good team that we're watching right now. Let's be the present.
Let everybody else go up in flames. Let's see the Grizzlies, what they do with that, overcrowded backcourt when Ja comes back. Maybe Desmond Bane in the offseason. I've been calling it. I want to see something crazy. I don't want these faded all-stars. I want something up and coming. Come on. I want longevity right now, man. We in place to make real moves. We can't just throw money at anything, and that's not what we're doing right now. So I like how everything's going. The only thing I have an issue with is Tibbs' rotation, but I guess he gets these boys out here playing, so I ain't mad at that, But come on now. Besides that, man, we looking good, man. We need to just get behind this team, You know, we haven't been in this situation in a while. It's time for the fan base to switch up their gears right now. It's time for them to see that, hey, we got a contender right here. We need to, it's time to talk our mess. Man, everywhere we go, I hear "Let's go Knicks" in the crowd, taking over. We are taking over. Let's go right now, man. This team's getting hot. You know, RJ has a little off night. No problem. Somebody picks it up tonight. It was Dante. What did Quick do tonight? Nothing. What about last night? He went off. Okay? We have so much talent. Somebody's bound to go off when our consistent players are down. Let's go. Come on.
All right. I like that. Appreciate the call, Rambo. Appreciate the call. Hope you have a good night. That was Rambo on the check-in. Rambo's hype, bro. Rambo is hype. He likes how this team is performing right now. He's ready to go. Look, man, my man's talking about jumping out windows. I'm not even there yet. I'm not even ready to jump out the window yet. He said he's got the window open. He's probably peering outside, just like, oh.
They have a good week. If they have a good week this coming week, I might be jumping out the window with him.
Oh,
you got a star-studded week, man. And I'm glad that RJ was able to have a little warm-up game tonight, because I don't care what no one says. There's a little bit of a personal rivalry between him and Anthony Edwards. I don't know what it is, but it seems like they get up for each other. It's kind of like when Randall plays Sabonis, whether when Sabonis was with the Pacers and now the Kings. It's just something, and they may not even have anything personal against each other, but there's just something, you know. I remember this guy named Joshua Nesbitt in high school. I used to play basketball against him, and he was one of the best players in the city. And I didn't know him, but every time we played him, it was, for whatever reason, it was something about when we played him, we just went at each other, and that's just how it is. And maybe it's the social media thing with Anthony Edwards and RJ, where there's the Twitter comparisons and all that stuff. Maybe it's the fun and games. Maybe it's, you know, they're two high draft picks and they're competitors, but there's something there. There's something. It could have been the comments he made. Remember the comments he made about RJ?
Yeah.
Where RJ missed
I remember the comments.
Maybe it's something just like that. Like, you said something, and after that, it's over. Like, when I see you, it's on sight. That might be the mindset that RJ has right now. And Anthony Edwards is a guy that's definitely not going to back down, and he's definitely taking the next step. So he's one of the faces of the NBA, right? So, you know, it's going to be a very, very competitive week, because you have Devin Booker, you have Kevin Durant, and of course, those Miami Heat. You know, there's nothing more to say than how much we hate them. And
that's an in-season tournament game. And that's an in-season tournament
game. Oh my God. So wait, is it at the Garden? Are we going to see the Garden floor or the Miami?
Yes, sir. We're going to see the Garden floor.
Oh, yes. They have two home games this week. So, and that one's on national television. So,
you already know, man. You already know what this is. Okay, you already know how that's going to. The NBA knows what they're doing. Okay, they know how to schedule these games, and what for a Friday night, Knicks Miami in MSG, revenge. Okay, we know how the playoffs ended. They know what they want. They want to see blood on the court, and it's bright orange, so we'll be able to see it. Okay, but shout out to everyone. Well, welcome to KFTV Postgame Live. Thank you for tuning in. We got 1,500 in the chat. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. I got the trivia question for all of you right now, so make sure to hit that thumbs up button. We got 630 right now. We need to get up to 1,000 likes. Come on now. You're all ready to vote for the poll. We got 931 votes in here voting for whether or not Dante DiVincenzo needs to be in the starting rotation, but you don't want to get free stuff? We got free stuff to give away, people. We just need 1,000 likes while we're live. Come on now. Keep it rocking. 1,500 of you. This should be light work. Let's keep this thing going. But you know what? JD, you did mention something. You did mention RJ Barrett. And you know, he's going to have to go against Ant-Man, who called him out when Ant-Man was a rookie and saying, you know, he essentially said, yeah, we'll let RJ take the last shot. We ain't worried about him. That's essentially, like, I'm paraphrasing. That's essentially what he said. But look, RJ came back tonight after missing some time due to a migraine. He returned, was a little rusty. You know, I actually didn't mind that Tibbs allowed quickly to close the second quarter and didn't throw RJ back in there because he struggled tonight. He had 15 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 of 15 from the field, 1 for 5 from downtown. He hit 4 out of his 5 free throws. He got 1 steal. But, you know, first game back, didn't look himself. What were your thoughts on RJ's game tonight, JD? You muted, JD. You muted yourself. You muted yourself.
Just like as I said earlier, warm-up game. It was, to me, that's the only way I see it. It's a warm-up game.
Okay.
One thing that tells me that he is going to get right back on track, 4 out of 5 from the free throw line. You know, when you can come back like that and you are strong in an area that has been an area of improvement for you as a professional ball player so far in his early career, the free throw line has been an area that he's looked to improve, and he's done that this year. And then you can come back and shoot, 80% from the free throw line. Then, the field goal, 5 for 15, the 3-pointers, 1 for 5. That's going to come with more rhythm. But 4 out of 5, to me, that's my biggest takeaway, is that he's still sharp at the free throw line. To me, that's a good sign for a guy that has improved his shot, because if he would have also struggled at the free throw line, then it's something that, I would want to see, I would want to watch. But him being strong at the free throw line is to me, it's a good sign that this was just a game. These things happen, and who knows? Was it really a migraine? I think Tibbs said whatever it was. I think that was his actual words. Tibbs was like, whatever it was, he was like really sick or something like that. So who knows? With the way people are being funny these days, you see the NFL. They're going to investigate the Cincinnati Bengals on Joe Burrow because he had a wrap in his hand coming into the game, and it was never reported. Next thing you know, boom, now he's out for the season. But there was a wrap in that same hand before the game. So who knows? Because remember, he had the little knee issue. Did they want to give him just a few more days rest? The knee maybe flared up a little bit. They say, oh, tell little, go drink a little bit, and wake up with a headache. We'll call it a migraine. Like who knows? Or maybe
tinfoil hat's coming out, ladies and gentlemen.
Maybe he was really sick. Because I do remember his post game, his last game against the Hornets. He didn't seem to have a lot of energy in his post game remarks in terms of the way that I saw him. So he might have already started to get sick. But nevertheless, long story short, I'm ready to see him against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think he'll be fine. And I want him to get back into rhythm. It's been 6 days since he last played before tonight. So let's get ready for that great matchup. I hope he's ready.
Yeah, me too. I hope he's ready too. And I really didn't want him to miss too much time because, look, you play pickup ball, I play pickup ball. Like, when you on vacation or wherever you take a week off, you come back, your jumper's looking a little funny, man. Nothing's connecting. You're struggling. You start to press. And you saw a little bit of that tonight from RJ. But I did like the fourth quarter. He went 2 for 5 in the fourth quarter, hit 1 of his 4 3-pointers, hit both of his free throw shots. Then it seemed like in the fourth quarter, even though it wasn't much, it seemed like he figured his game back out, like he was slowly starting to get into rhythm. But I think Tibbs saw it. I saw it. It's his first game back. I was expecting him to be a little bit rusty, especially if he was sick. I'm not expecting you to come off of an illness and just get right back to it. That's a little much to ask for. I wouldn't be even surprised if he takes another game to get back into it. But you have a day off before you head out, before you face the Timberwolves, I should say. You have a day off, so hopefully he can get back and get ready for that game, because I do want to see him get back into rhythm, because to have him, Brunson, and Randall playing at their peaks, I mean, we saw what RJ was doing. He started off the season hot. If you have that type of performance from RJ consistently, plus how Randall's playing, and then you get JB the way he's supposed to be playing, that's a pretty dynamic team, man. That's a pretty dynamic team. And we can't forget how Mitch is playing at a top tier level, how quickly he's been solid coming off the bench. So all of that to say that the whole thing of continuity, was promoted this offseason. I can buy into it, especially when you see that internally these guys are taking another step forward in their development as basketball players. So hopefully RJ's ready to go. I'm not making too much of it, but I do want to see him perform against the Minnesota Timberwolves like you, especially. Come on, man. Ant-Man's having quite a season so far. I want to see how he goes and says, you know what, Ant-Man? I'm nice too. I remember those comments. I'm nice too. I didn't forget what you said. All right. Let's do some of the super chats that we got, JD. We got Jay Livingston again with a $5 super chat. He says, everyone wants to trade Julius Randle. He's the only 4 we have and is playing the best ball of his career. They should stick with what they have. Maybe add Gallinari. Interesting. I don't know about Gallinari. I kind of like what we have right now, but it's not a bad idea to add another shooter. We got a $5 super chat from Amid Belford. JD, get that grill out. We need some burgers. We got a Dante's Inferno burning at the Garden. Let's go, Knicks. Bing Bong. Bing Bong's retired. You got me up until Bing Bong. Bing Bong's retired. All right. We got a $5 super chat from Gamba the Bard. Shout out to producer Gamba. RJ gets sick every year. This is the way. Now you're just being messy, bro.
Yeah, Gamba just wants to stir the pot.
He just likes to stir the pot, man. He likes to. You messy man for no reason. We're having a good time, bro. Just let us live. Let us live. Let's get back to the Discord. We got Yusuf from Lakewood. Yusuf, what's going on, man? Unmute your mic. How you doing today?
You hear me?
Yes, sir. How you doing, man? How you feeling today?
You guys are doing a great job.
Appreciate it.
I just wanted to comment on the DiVincenzo and Grimes conversation. So I think Grimes would be coming off the bench would be good for him because 2 years ago he was coming off the bench, right? Or last year?
Yes. His rookie season he was coming off the bench for a little
I feel
bit.
like he's more comfortable there. Like he doesn't have to worry about Jalen Brunson and Randall getting the ball. I feel like he thinks about that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So he's more pressured to if he doesn't have more pressure to pass off the ball, he doesn't have a shot. I feel like in the second unit he'll be more comfortable. He'll start creating for himself. And also, and DiVincenzo is doing really good. I think we should go back to that. And what's your take? Thank you, guys. Peace.
Appreciate you, Yusuf, for checking in and for your call. Look, I said at the beginning of the show, JD, I am not quick to change the rotation just yet because I think it's still a small sample size. Yes, Dante looks great, but what Grimes offers for height, he's still one of the top defenders in the league. Do we need to be more aggressive offensively? Absolutely. But I want to see, as you already pointed out, has he learned from being on the bench, watching what Dante has done? Can he go out there and execute? Also, I need to see Dante do this against top tier teams. He struggled against Boston earlier this week. I didn't forget that. We saw him struggle at the beginning of the season. Yes, but I need to see him actually perform against top talents and not just some of the worst defenses in the league. So that's my take on it. What do you think?
Like I said, let's see. There is an argument for, I can see Grimes fitting in with the bench as well in terms of him maybe feeling more relaxed. I do think he does feel the pressure of being aggressive, and I think he does hear, the outside noise in terms of, and I think sometimes you see it in him being a little hesitant, not knowing when to pick his spots or not. So I couldn't see maybe with Grimes, with Quickly, he could feel more relaxed and have that same chemistry off the bench. But he's a good fit as a starter if he just is able to just be assertive, pick his right spots, and continue to play defense. I don't want to also just get too caught up in the offense of Dante DiVincenzo, because also, let's be honest, how sustainable is this anyways? 22 points, 20 points.
7 to 10 from downtown, man. That's crazy.
That's Steph Curry is not really doing that every night. I know we see the highlights, but Steph Curry doesn't shoot 60 or even 50% from three. So Steph Curry needs to shoot 12, 13 threes a lot of nights just to hit 4 or 5 threes. Start looking at these box scores. That's reality. So how sustainable is this? So then if it's not sustainable, then you just have to look at what do you need as a starting lineup. Do you need more of the defense? Do you need more of the offense? I think they need both, to be honest. I think they need the defense because of Brunson and Randall, and I think they need the offense because of spacing between RJ, Mitch, and Randall. So that's why, to me, that 2 spot is very critical for this team. And for how far they could go this year is what the production and what type of impact they get at that spot. If they don't make no other moves, that spot becomes very, very critical to how far they could go this season, just because it is on both sides of the basketball court. It's going to impact the other players around them in a way that could impact their games as well. Because we saw against the Heat, not being able to have that knockdown sniper or that aggressive player at the 2 guard. You saw the way Spoelstra tried to pack the paint and cause havoc against, Randall. And he didn't necessarily stop Brunson, but also we weren't hurting him enough in terms of, they were playing zone here and there. They were, packing the paint, and they were forcing our other guys to shoot and look scared. Let's call that what it is. A lot of the young players look scared. So let's see. It's still early in the season. We had these same conversations with Randall when he was struggling, had some other concerns with Brunson when he was struggling. Now it's Grimes' turn. And I think, he should definitely get an opportunity when he gets back to show what he can do.
Absolutely. And salute to Knicks Nation. Salute to everyone tuning in to KFTV Postgame Live. We got 1,400 in the chat right now. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. As I said earlier, we're doing a giveaway. Come on. We just need to get to 1,000 likes. We got 734 likes. We got over 1,000 likes for the poll. We can't get 1,000 likes for this video. Come on out, people. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Make sure to share these videos and tell everybody else that you share these videos with to hit the thumbs up button for your boys. We got stuff to give away. I got the question for all of you. I got the trivia question. I know somebody wants to win. I know somebody wants to get free stuff. So make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Okay. Now let's salute to all the franchise channel members, man. We got some of the franchise channel members in here. We got Sansa Stark. We got Junior Karoma. I saw Jamaica Queens in here. We got Frame Bloss Music in here. Salute to all you. We got JJ in here. We got Gamba in here. We got Jay from Puerto Rico in here. Let's go. Salute to all the franchise channel members. Dr. D. Roy Barnwell, salute to you as well. Drew Gunna, salute to you. We got all the franchise channel members in here. Salute to all you, and salute to Knicks Nation. Salute to the chat. All right. We got all the regulars here. We got everybody in here. Let's go. We got Rudy Tay in here. Salute to you for being a franchise channel member as well. Gregory Weiner, salute to you as well. Let's keep it rocking, people. Come on. Come on, everybody. 7:45, okay. We're almost there. Oh, 7:54. There we go. Hit that thumbs up button. I know some of you want that free stuff. Come on. We need to get to 1,000 likes. 1,400 in the chat. Hey, JD, speaking about the votes, though, we got 1,055 votes. 65% of those people say yes, start Dante DiVincenzo, while 35% say no. Insane, man. Insane. Not the voting for Dante. It's insane that we got 1,000 on the votes, but we can't get 1,000 on the likes. Come on. Let's keep it rocking, people. Let's keep it rocking.
That like button.
And drop a hashtag new in the chat. Drop a hashtag new in the chat if this is your first time tuning in. We'll shout you guys out too. All right. Let's keep the show. Let's keep the show rolling, man. We got Mitchell Robinson just beasting, baby. My guy is just continuing to have a strong season. Talk about Mitchell Robinson passing Bill Cartwright for third on all-time offensive rebounds. How about that? Mitchell Robinson, third. Third.
That was insane. How he got 10, I think, was it 11? Was it 11 tonight offensive?
I think it was. I'm trying to pull it up, but my website's
he had a double-digit rebound on the other side of the category, like on the offensive rebound side. Like that, first of all, it's
11 offensive rebounds. He had 14 boards, 11 of them were offensive rebounds.
No, he only had 3 defensive. That means he only had 3 rebounds off a Hornets miss. He had 11 on our end. That's just wild to me. And then, the 3 blocks. It was impressive. I would like to get him, I've always said I would like to get him going a little bit more offensively. And when I say going, I don't mean like turn him into Hakeem Olajuwon. I'm not calling plays for him. I'm not asking for him to get the ball in the post and post up like Charles Barkley. I'm not saying all that. What I mean is I would like to play a little bit more pick and roll just to get him more hops. Like let's treat him a little bit more like DeAndre Jordan when he was with the Clippers, or Tyson Chandler when he was with the Mavericks. Like, these type of shot blocking centers that, average 10 points a game. Like, that's one of the things that I wish we could do for Mitch is when you look at previous centers that are in his kind of skill set, these guys were still able to average, close to 10 points per game. And when they were able to average doubles because of the lob. DeAndre Jordan with the Clippers used to get 10 points just on lobs, right? And so did Tyson Chandler and many more centers that I'm not, that I'm not remembering right now that I know were similar skill sets to Mitchell Robinson. That's something because there are times where I see him not engage as much, and I wonder sometimes if that's part of him not always setting the best screens, not always showing, because sometimes I be thinking he be winging it with the screens. He doesn't go, he doesn't set straight with the screens. And sometimes it could be possession to possession. Like, put yourself in his position. Like, this is a guy that's like, he's playing one role for the whole game for the most part. Like, you'll get the ball if you get the ball. If you get a putback, you'll get a putback. If, like, your offense is going to come however it comes. But in terms of defense, that's your role. It's not easy to just continue to be engaged 100% every single possession when you're only going to play one side. So that's just something that's just personal preference for me. At the end of the day, his role for this team right now has been excellent. Like a lot of people are talking about these big names. His name should be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year at this moment, if you ask me. I mean, he's dominating certain centers. Like, if you're not at the way it looks like this year, if you're not a 3-point shooting center, right? Like a Porzingis, maybe a Miles Turner because he shoots, but I don't even think Miles Turner could be a threat. But if you're not a center that can take him away from the basket, it's over for you that night. He's going to dominate you. Because these Jared Allens and Evan Mobleys and these Mark Williams, like these 7-foot centers that can do one thing on the basketball court, they are no threat to Mitchell Robinson right now. They are no threats to Mitchell Robinson. And so, to me, last year, that was more hit or miss. This year, it's like a definite. He's balling this year, bro. And so, he has Rudy Gobert next. That's barbecue chicken for Mitchell Robinson. You'll see. That's barbecue chicken. Because, again, I always tell you, when I look at the matchup, I look at one thing. Can this guy shoot threes? Oh, he can't shoot threes? Oh, that's barbecue chicken for Mitchell Robinson. Because Mitchell Robinson, he's a little uncomfortable when he's away from the basket. His awareness takes a dip. His aggressiveness to attack the rim. No, watch is just all you gotta do is look at the game logs. Look at games where Mitchell Robinson has to be a little bit away from the basket. His rebound numbers take a dip. You see it. Everything takes a little bit of a dip because he's just not comfortable, or he hasn't had enough experience playing a full game and being a quarterback of a defense in the perimeter. So when he's closer to the basket, that's when he can do, damage. You saw him struggle a little bit against like a Bam. Although Bam is smaller than him, Bam can shoot the mid-range shot. Bam can handle the basketball. Takes Mitch a little bit away from the basket. That's when Mitch gets into his little struggling mode. You keep Mitch close to the basket, it's barbecue chicken.
Look, and we saw that against even Brook Lopez. And Brook Lopez wasn't even that much of a threat to Mitch because Brook still tried to operate in the paint and Mitch still had his, I wouldn't say his number, but he still battled with Brook Lopez. And even when Giannis was attacking that game, right? Mitch had some good stops against Giannis, and Giannis usually owned Mitch in the past. So Mitch is doing his thing. I can't wait to watch him go against Rudy Gobert. I think that I'm in agreement with you, man. That should be a good matchup for Mitch. He's just stronger at this point, man. And that's the thing. And I think the one thing that stands out to me is that he's better at screening. He's solid at boxing out now when you watch him when it comes to rebounding. And the biggest thing, he's not falling, bro. Like, remember in the years past, he would always hit the deck. Like, no matter who he was battling, always hit the deck. Now he is holding his ground and standing tall, no matter who is trying to put a shot over him in the paint. Mitch is on another level this season, man. I like how Mitch is performing. He's awesome.
That's a great observation. That's a great observation. Yeah, because it's crazy. I didn't even think about it because it's not happening. But that's a great observation. You're right, man. He's not like he doesn't look like as kind of like just clumsy out there. You know what I mean? Like from possession to possession, we will always. You know how many times he used to fall? We will always be nervous. Like, get up, Mitch. Get up, Mitch. And he was wincing here or there. Sometimes he was struggling to get up, down the court. He looks a lot smoother this season. So, and the thing about Mitch also, I feel like he's gained weight, lost weight, gained weight, gotten lean, toned. Like I think he's tried to figure out what's the perfect just training for him. Like what is like boxes? Is it a specific weight class that I have to reach? Is it a specific weight number, or is it this type of workout? Do I have to do more cardio? Do I have to work on my endurance? Like I think he's been trying to figure out, because he's tried a few things already. You've seen in the past where he gained weight and we thought, nah, Mitch, that's not it. Like you look slow on the court. Then he lost weight and it's like, Mitch, you're too light. You need to get stronger. Now he seems like he's finding that right balance because he's producing results on the court.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And shout out to King Deej in the chat. King Deej, you gonna call in, bro? I see you in the chat. Ooh, to you. We got 810 likes, JD. 810 likes. We're close, people. We are very close. 190 of you. 190 of you. Of 1,300 people in the chat right now, need to hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys so that way we can do this giveaway. We are so close. I got the question on deck. So if you want some free stuff, make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Woo. Can't wait, man. Can't wait to watch Mitch battle. Can't wait. Can't wait. This could be great. All right. So now, JD, the team is on a 3-game win streak. They're heading to Minnesota, as we talked about, to face Anthony Edwards, McDaniels, who this team just got into a fight with the Golden State Warriors. We saw Draymond Green choke, put Rudy Gobert in a headlock. How are you feeling about the Knicks being on a 3-game winning streak? And how are you feeling about the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are a hot team right now, man? They're really good. They have one of the top defenses in the league. They're taking out top teams too. Teams that are supposed to be contenders this year. How are you feeling?
I can't wait for the matchup. It's gonna be a great matchup. Also, the Timberwolves themselves, this is a team that was facing a lot of pressure going into this season in terms of, a lot of people calling that Rudy Gobert trade one of the worst trades ever. A lot of people are, looking at Anthony Edwards and him being their franchise cornerstone. Now, him taking that next step, you as a franchise, you have to start thinking about, you don't want no Kevin Garnett situation to happen again in Minnesota. Like you want to start building a team for him early in his development process, right? And, they had a lot of pressure going in, and now they're 9-3. So they are responding early to some of that adversity. And, Karl Anthony Towns tonight had 29 points. He was 10 of 11 from the field with 9 assists. So, he's a player that is going to be interesting how we match up against him. I think you would have to put Randall on him. I believe Randall's the matchup, though Randall's going to have to be, aware. His awareness is going to have to creep up because sometimes Randall on screens, on pick and rolls, he can die a little. He could be a step slow to get back to the perimeter, and Karl Anthony Towns is going to let it fly. So that's, to me, the Karl Anthony Towns matchup is going to be a key matchup because if we're not aware of where he's at on the floor, then our whole defense could just break. Because then that's when rotations are slow and you're not able to rotate to the right guy. I think we'll be okay with Anthony Edwards at this point. It is what it is. He's a great player. You try to contain him, but to me, Karl Anthony Towns is a key, and then Mitch winning his matchup versus Rudy Gobert is the other key. If we can do those two things, I think the Knicks will pull off the victory. They have to win the matchup, the physicality down low, and then they have to respect Karl-Anthony Towns from the perimeter, because Karl-Anthony Towns is one of those players, like you again, like tonight, 2 of 2 from 3, 10 of 11 from the field, 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Like when he gets hot, he's like a guard. He gets hot from the perimeter. He's gonna have a good night. And sometimes with Towns, also, early, if that first quarter could mean what the night is gonna be for him. As I've watched him closely, because obviously all the rumors with the Knicks, so I've started to watch a lot more Minnesota Timberwolves games, just to see any potential players that the Knicks could acquire. So I feel good about the team, and this is going to be a nice test. It's going to be a test for them too, because I'm tired of talking about what team's going to be for us. We're going to be a tough test for them. They just beat the Pelicans by 1 point without Zion Williamson and CJ McCollum. And like we're gonna be a test for you too. Get out of here with this. All teams no. We're also gonna be a tough test for them. So this is also a little bit of a barometer game, I think, for both teams. How about that?
I like that. And look, man, these two teams, like I said, Minnesota's got a top defense. They are number 1 right now by defensive rating. They got a 105.7. The Knicks are not too far behind. They are number 5 with a 108.3, where the Knicks are better than the Timberwolves. Is coming to offensive rating, man. Tonight, the Knicks took a jump in their offensive rating. They're top 10 with their offense. They have a 114.9 offensive rating. Minnesota, 18 with a 111.16. And New York is just slightly edging out Minnesota when it comes to net rating. Knicks being 4th, Minnesota being 5th. We got a 6.6 net rating. They got a 5.8. So it's close, man. This is going to be a good battle. The Knicks, for the most part, are going to have to fight through the Minnesota Timberwolves' tough perimeter and interior defense. Rudy Gobert seems to have made his return to being who Rudy Gobert was on the Utah Jazz. You see how McDaniels, you got Ant-Man, Connolly's doing a good job on the perimeter. But then you got to worry about Ant-Man scoring. But, with Brunson, I feel like Brunson should be able to – he's probably going to get the McDaniels assignment, but he should be able to take McDaniels. If Grimes is healthy, he's going to have to guard Ant-Man. That would be the test, though. That would be the test. If Grimes is not healthy on Monday, Dante DiVincenzo will be out there. I would think that Brunson would be on Connolly. You then have Ant-Man and McDaniels. I would expect RJ to be on McDaniels, and then Ant-Man, you'd have to leave that to Dante DiVincenzo. And that would be a really good test for me to say, hey, if Dante can manage that defensive assignment while putting up some good offensive numbers, then we got a legitimate case here. But we'll see. We'll see for that. But yeah, Mitch versus Gobert, that's going to be a good one. Randall versus Cat. The entire offseason, JD, the entire offseason was, should we trade Julius Randle for Karl-Anthony Towns? Well, if Julius was hearing all those rumors, you should be ready for this matchup.
Yep.
You should be ready to put those rumors to bed and say, hey, this guy's not in my weight class at all. All right. So I'm looking forward to this matchup, man. Because Minnesota, they've beaten the Warriors. They're taking out some good teams. I know they just barely beat a Pelicans team, as you said, without CJ and Zion. But this team has come to play, man. And it looks like Karl-Anthony Towns is finally getting into an offensive groove. So I'm looking forward to this matchup. These are the type of matchups that are good to say, to get a gauge of where the Knicks are. I know you're saying, hey, Minnesota's got to get into our weight class. But it hasn't been too many times where we got to see the Knicks go be successful in back-to-back years of being an actual threat in the Eastern Conference. So there's also that. There's also that in the back of my head saying, let's see, can the Knicks continue this good production? Because they've also been up and down to begin the season, right? You don't get complete games from Brunson. You didn't get complete games from Randall. RJ's returning from an injury. We're going to be if we're without Grimes, we're not sure yet. There's a lot of stuff going around for this team. So this will be a good test for the Knicks, regardless. This will be a good test for the Knicks. Let's get back to the Discord, though. We got G Big Dog on the line. G Big Dog, unmute your mic. What's going on, man? How are you doing today?
Gentlemen, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
Not much. Love the show. I usually am always listening on the playback, but I'm glad I was able to call in. Keep up the good work. And so I just want to say a couple things. I mean, I'm just going to say it. Like, I love the way Julius is playing right now. I think in the last year or two, we've been talking about, well, do we need to move Julius? How is he going to react to being an option B or option C on a team? And I think he's really showing a lot of growth and maturity and really settling into his game. So I'm very pleased to see that. And I think we need to have patience as Knicks fans because I feel like we all kind of get anxious very quickly with whatever's happening. If somebody's having a couple off games, the man had surgery. I think we need to give him time to recover and adjust. So I'm just happy with his progress and what he's doing. I love JB the way he's playing. RJ, I will say, I know he had a down night tonight. Actually, I know they've been saying he's had a migraine. I'm actually a neurologist, so what I would tell you is that from my own personal experience, if somebody's had a migraine for several days, that's bad. It's really bad. I mean, a migraine for a day will put you out like a really bad hangover. So if you've had a migraine for multiple days, I mean, you are probably close to needing hospitalization.
Wow.
And so I think the fact that he didn't play as well as we would have hoped today doesn't surprise me. I'm personally, I don't love RJ's efficiency numbers when we go back to last year. I was glad to see he kind of did well over the summer. And it was nice to see this first couple games that he really was doing well. And so I'm a little bit confused and kind of how I feel about RJ right now, to be honest, because it seemed like he was really improving his efficiency and doing well. And we were obviously sorely missing him, it seemed, when he was ill. And so now that he's back, and he didn't perform as well, I'm kind of like, well, I hope it's not the inefficient RJ again, but that he's really has turned the corner. It's just this migraine that's lingering the effects of it, and it is possible that that's what's happening. Lastly, when it comes to the Dante and Grimes piece, to me it looks like Dante just looks very natural. He kind of came in, he knows what to do, and he just fits so naturally. I mean, I was really excited over the summer when I saw Grimes working out with JJ and with Penny. But all of those hype videos and stuff, it just doesn't seem like it's really translated onto the court for me. He gets hot occasionally, but that consistency just really isn't there. And it just feels like he can't find his place amongst the other superstars like JB and Randall. So I think Grimes will have a little more leeway and feel less pressured because I feel like every time he gets the ball, he's kind of like, it seems that he feels under a lot of pressure to make a shot and really perform. And I think it's self-imposed pressure because I think Tibbs trusts him. So whereas Dante, I think he kind of just comes in and is like, "Hey, I'm the new guy. I'm doing what I got to do," and I know JB, and I kind of just fit. So I think Grimes would do very well in the second unit. And then lastly, I would just say that I think Tibbs also has shown us a lot of growth. I always think about what you guys talk about. Well, if not Tibbs, then who? And I think the man is obviously very seasoned. No coach is perfect, but I think he's shown a lot of growth over the years, and I'm pleased with the direction he's heading. Is everything perfect? No, but I just want to say I like the way the team is heading, and we need a superstar, I think, to really take us over the top. But I'm willing to be patient. It ain't Cat. I agree with that 100%. I'm not giving up all everything that we got going on right now for something that's not really going to level us up and get us to chip. So anyway, thank you all for taking my call, and hope to call again soon. Have a great night.
You too, G Big Dog. Salute to you, and thank you for calling in. My man had a lot to say, bro. My man had a lot to say about the team, the state of affair between RJ, Randall, Brunson, Tibbs. I liked it, man. Grimes. It was a good call. Dante DiVincenzo. He touched on every single topic that we discussed tonight. I don't even know where to go off of that call, man. I have no idea. You're muted. You muted, my man. You're muted.
He gave a State of the Union address.
He really did. He really did. I love it.
State of the Knicks.
I guess I guess with the whole RJ thing, I think he's just figured out his game, man. Just to start there, I think he's just figured out his game, And when you just watch it on a nightly basis, like even tonight, even though he tried, there were moments where he was pressing just to get himself in rhythm. It wasn't like years past where it was just some crazy wild shots like true blinders were on. It was like a moment and then it was gone. And then he just tried to fit back into what the offense was and really, really tried to play his game. And even when he tried to attack and transition, like he had a good floater that banked in off the glass. I was like, okay, RJ's slowly trying to figure out. He's coming off long extended period of time. I'm not expecting him to be in rhythm, but it's just like there's just something about his decision making this year that's just been documented that you just gotta like. So it's just taken time for him, as we've seen throughout his entire tenure as a Knick. But I like what he's shown this year, and I'm a pretty big believer in what he's demonstrated. I wouldn't say he's taken the leap, as some are saying, but I would say he's just becoming more consistent and effective.
Do you need to see? Do you need to see? Are you convinced? Are you sold, or do you need? Are you saying, give me 20 games, give me game 15, or are you ready to say he's arrived? Like, this is the leap. This is the RJ we're gonna get. No ifs, ands, or buts. Like, we got the guy that we thought we were gonna get.
The guy that we thought we're gonna get. I mean, to get the guy that we're. I don't think he's taking. Like I said, I don't think he's taking a leap. I don't think he's that guy yet. I think he's just become a more efficient player. But I think this is who he is, baseline, that we're supposed to get. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like baseline, like this is what RJ should be. Like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I agree. Like I've always said, I've been consistent about RJ. Is he's gonna always have different variations of people evaluating him, because if you are in the crowd that you were expecting a franchise changing player, you're always going to criticize him, because I don't know that he'll ever get to that level. But if you're like me, who, listen, I just want a very good player. Like, I want another very good player, be efficient enough on offense and play defense, like be a borderline all-star, like be a borderline to all-star caliber player. To me, you've done your job if you can get to that level. That's the leap that I'm looking for, is all-star conversation. There's people that still are waiting for the superstar. If you're waiting for the superstar, you might be waiting forever. I don't know. But to me, you get to all-star conversation, you've done your job.
Hey, there you have it. And JD, guess what? We got 900 likes, man. We got 900 likes. We got 1,300 in the chat. We need 100 more likes to get to 1,000 people. Get to 1,000. Or you can just join the chat and watch CP saying, hey, trying to teach me the art of like wrapping up a call. Hey, man, we're trying to get to 1,000 over here, all right? We're trying to get to 1,000, all right? Would you people hit the like button if I said it was JD's birthday? Is that what I need to do over here? Why are you shaking your head, JD?
Not yet.
Oh, man.
Almost Tuesday. Almost.
Tuesday. There we go. Tuesday will be JD's birthday.
Finally 21. I can finally have a legal drink.
Finally 21. Man, look at that.
Who
would have thought that you're younger than RJ Barrett? Would never thought that, man. Never thought that. We got 904 likes. Come on, people. Let's hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. All right. Moving along. All right, guys. We're gonna go to the closer tonight. You got 921. We're getting there. We're gonna go to the closer. By the time this call ends, I hope there's 1,000 so that we could do this giveaway. All right. 70 more. We need 70 more likes. We're gonna go to the closer for tonight. JD, our guy, none other than King Deej. King Deej, what's going on, bro? How you feeling today, man? What's happening?
Hill, salute. Capital 3 S's, man. I saw Jay Boogie was in the house, so you gotta represent. So
let's go.
Wait, first off, I didn't even know that it was JD's birthday on Tuesday. So you got Jay Boogie in the building. You got JD celebrating his birthday, and you got the New York Knicks with the best record that they ever had since a decade ago. Man, run those likes up. Hit that like button for your boys. Subscribe. Alex, talk to me, man. I heard a lot of bad things about Dante DiVincenzo before you even signed it. I heard a lot of bad things. Hey, Grimes, listen, I'm wishing you well. get well soon. This is not supposed to be a diss towards you, but there's no excuses, my young Padawan. You see how he moves off the ball? You see how he has that 2-man game looking real nice with Randall? I was like, oh snap. Randall's actually diving to the rim. Okay, we like that. Brunson did his thing. RJ, welcome back. A little sloppy, but nothing to hold against you. We know you're good. And Monday is a movie because I want to see the narratives play out. I want to see how this film goes down. Julius, I don't care if he's your friend. Kill him. Mitch, I already know you're gonna kill Rudy. And then it's Ant-Man and RJ. A lot of dissing, a lot of back and forth for the last 2 years. But this is a nice, fun test. We did what we had to do this weekend, took care of business. And listen, we could be talking about a whole different thing. Yeah, like so what? It was Charlotte and Washington. You saw Miami just went on a 7-game winning streak and they lost to Chicago. And Chicago is in flames right now. So you take care of who you got to take care of on the schedule and we move. That's what this campaign is about. We move. So hit that like button for my man Alex. Hit that like button for JD. Hit that like button if you like what the Knicks is doing. Hit that like button if you think we go beat Minnesota. Run it up, run it up, run it up. I'm out. Peace and love. Alex, appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, King D's. Thank you for the call. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a call. All right. Woo! King D's came in with a flamethrower for young Quentin Grimes. He's like, yo, man, look, you got to be better. Plain and simple. We ain't tolerating this no longer. You got to do what we saw Dante DiVincenzo did tonight. Moving off ball, shooting your threes, being aggressive. There is a reckless abandonment that comes to Dante DiVincenzo's game that you can love and hate at the same time. Love it tonight. Hate it when he tried to poster Brook Lopez. But absolutely, Dante DiVincenzo made the best of his opportunity tonight. I like that call, man. I like the energy that King Deej brought, man. That's a 5-star call to me.
5-star.
Everyone in the chat, rate King Deej's call. 5 being facts, 1 being trash. Let me know what your thoughts are on King Deej's call. Look, man, at this point, I can't wait. I can't wait. Like everybody else, man. Cannot wait for Monday night. Cannot wait to see. Like, we went through a gauntlet, JD. The first 10 games, we had so many back-to-backs. We had one of the toughest schedules according to the NBA. We came out 5-5. Now what are we? We're 8-5? Are we 8-5? Is that where we're at right now? Okay. I like it. I like where we're at, man. We're 8-5 right now. We're going against a tough Minnesota team. All right. First of all, I gotta take a second. One second. How did Chicago, who was down 22-1, come back and win 102-97? What just happened?
That was wild. It was 20-1.
I had never seen a box score like that.
I mean, does that say more about Chicago? Does it say more about family show? Or does that say more about the bleeping Heats?
Hey man.
Oh, Heat.
You know, shout out to the NBA report. CP and I have been on that, just talking general hoops, man. And we had a question. We discussed the Miami Heat. Should we believe that 7-game winning streak? And I was like, can I see them actually beat a good team first before I actually believe that they're a good team? Then you lose to Chicago, who's god awful.
Yeah, and, I can't. Well, they're gonna play us, so and they're gonna play Chicago again on Monday too. So they're gonna play Chicago one more time, and then they're gonna come and play the New York Knicks and lose to us.
Yeah, absolutely. That sounds right. All right, guys, we have 978 likes. We're closing in on 1,000 likes. We have a giveaway. I need you to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. We're so close. So close. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. I got the question. Don't you guys want to get free stuff? Don't you guys want to get free stuff? I got to read some more super chats over here. But by the time I'm done doing this, we should have 1,000 likes. All right. We got, shout out to our guy, Tom from Huntington. Gave us a $10 super chat. And he's a franchise channel member. He says, salute to the show, the chat, and Manscaped. Dante's handle keeps Brunson more, and Grimes works well offensively with IQ. And we should bench both and go get LaMelo. Maybe we should bench both and go get LaMelo. What? Wow. That.
They just love the name.
Hey, man. I know it's flashy. It
ain't winning.
My goodness. They are not winning at all. They got Miles Bridges back. You know, I like Brandon Miller.
It also goes to, I was looking at the Hornets and even the Kings this year who, like, bro, it is so difficult to build a team when you're tanking, man. Because you start to think, man, how many lottery picks does it take? Right? Like, even look at the Thunder. They have Chet Holmgren and Shea is people say he's a superstar. They have all this talent, Jalen Williams and Josh Giddey and all these lottery picks. But do you see them as a threat this year? No? Okay, so let's wait a few more years till they develop. And then a few more years, you got to pay people. And then it's not easy, man. Like, how many years have the Hornets been doing this? Now they have, what people love is a 6'9" wing and Brandon Miller. And I know he's a rookie, but I mean, let's see. He looks solid, but he doesn't look like franchise changing to me. Like, because it's early, right? It's early to talk about players and stuff like that, but nevertheless, it's just to show you how you gotta hit on the right picks. You gotta have luck on your side, and it's not about always being in the lottery. It's about who you draft, because you have teams that could be in the lottery for 10 straight years, and they are just getting a bunch of solid players. And then you might have a team that might just need to be in the lottery 2 times because the one, those 2 players, you see the Warriors with Clay and Steph. We don't need to be in the lottery anymore. Right? Just 2 players, boom, you're good.
Right.
Sometimes you get a franchise generational player and you're good.
Absolutely.
So it's just not. There's no real blueprint to me in the NBA to building a championship. Because you could be the Miami Heat. Oh my God, LeBron wants to come here. Right. Boom, championship contender, just like that.
JD, I got some news. I'm sorry to cut you off, my man, but I got some news.
We reached it.
We did. We reached 1,000 likes.
Breaking
so that means it's time for a giveaway. All right, that means it's time for a giveaway. But one more plug for the NBA Report, which is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3 p.m. Make sure to tune in to the NBA Report. We're doing the giveaway time. Time for a giveaway. And here's the question, everybody. Here's the question for the free stuff. Free stuff is a KFTV snapback. So if you want it, you got to get this question right. And the question is, which of the following Knicks franchise records is not, I repeat, not held by Patrick Ewing? First one to get the answer right gets a free KFTV snapback.
What's the question again?
Which of the following Knicks franchise records is not held by Patrick Ewing?
Where's the following? Where are my options?
Oh, give me a break.
Are you going to give me options or I have to figure it out?
You got to figure it out, man. This is we can't do this. We can't list all the categories that he's
no, because I'm just saying you said following, so I thought you were going to show multiple choice.
Yeah, right. No.
All right, people are answering.
Let's see. Did we get the right answer? Yep, we got it. We got the correct answer.
And hold on, don't tell me it's from that. What was it from the 5-star caller? Because it looked like he was the first one to answer.
That is correct, my good man. King Deej got it.
Wow! Shout out to King Deej. King Deej.
King Deej. The answer is offensive rebounds.
And we did get some answers, but after that, we got assists, 3-point steals, assists, most assists, turnovers, scoring. Somebody said Wiggins.
Wiggins. CP, how you missed the question, man? CP, the question was,
CP, the question is the question was no. The question was, everyone had to guess on what year you're gonna hit the free throw. Is it this year? Is it next year? Is it?
My man needs to hit up Drew Hanlon to get his free throw shots going. That's what he needs to do. Because look at RJ Barrett, man. That's what you got to do, CP. That's what you got to do.
No, but tell him the real question.
But the real question is, which of the Knicks franchise records is not held by Patrick Ewing? And the answer was offensive rebounds. So, King Deej is the winner of tonight. The 5-star caller gets a KFTV snapback. Free KFTV snapback. And hey, JD, that's the show, man. That's the show. Salute to everyone for tuning in. We got to 1,000 likes, 1,100 on the check-in. Man, thank you all for rocking with us tonight. Appreciate it. You all know what to do. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Make sure to share the links to all these videos. Make sure to share it to the channel to support us and to support this movement. We appreciate all of Knicks Nation for tuning in tonight. We had the Knicks defeat the Charlotte Hornets tonight. What was it? 122-108. But to salute to everybody for tuning in, man. Salute to all the franchise channel members. Salute to all the mods. Salute to producer Gamba. Salute to TM. Salute to everybody, man. Salute to Chuck. Salute to JJ, Gregory Weiner, Dr. D-Roy Barmo. Salute to all you guys for tuning in. Sansa Stark. Salute to everybody, man. And make sure to check out the NBA Report. We're always live. It's another channel we're doing. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3 p.m. Make sure to go over there and to support. Also, make sure to support our sponsor, BetUS, the official sports book for KFTV for the 2023-2024 NBA season. Make sure to go into the video description or hit the link in the chat to go get a match of up to 125% on your first deposit. Also, make sure to support Manscaped. Make sure to go over to KnicksFanTV.com and support our writers. Woo! Great show, JD. Great show, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. And we'll catch you again for either Knicks Weekly
Knicks
or for KFTV post game after we face the Minnesota Timberwolves. All right, everyone. We out. We'll catch you later.